NBC nightly news anchor Lester Holt is on a journey across America. His tour taking him to 5 cities in 5 days to tell you stories you don't always get to hear.
Today, he is here in our studios as he wraps up his trip with a visit to the Triangle. Lester, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks. It's great to be here. It's been a couple years since I've been here.
That's right. It's great to have you back. And you were just in Pittsburgh last night, and here you are this morning. I hope you got a little sleep.
A little sleep, but yeah, it's been a whirlwind. You know, we started in Portland, Oregon, then moved on to Denver and Chicago, Pittsburgh, and this is our final stop. It's been exhausting, but I tell you, it's been terrific. We've had a great time. Yeah,
what an incredible week on the road. What have you learned on your journey across America?
You know, I've learned so much. I mean, the whole idea was, you know, get into conversations, tap what's making news in certain parts of the country. I think what continues to blow me away was when I've been with young people. And, you know, we saw this after Parkland, you know, that sense of activism and maturity, and I keep talking to these kids, and I think, was I that cool and smart when I was 17, 18 years old?
I know I wasn't.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't, but you know, I had a great conversation with some kids in Pittsburgh after the newscast last night. They came down to where we were, and we just talked about politics and social media, and it just makes you feel good about the future.
Really get in touch with the people like politicians do.
Yeah. But you know, you have a community, you have this great community, the Triangle. You know, I'm talking to the entire nation, so I don't have that sense of community. So getting out, it helps me kind of understand what people are talking about. New York is awesome, but it can be a bubble if you let it be. Be a bubble.
And what are you going to be doing here?
Well, we're going to talk about, you know, we've been trying to talk about issues that resonate around the country. Here, one of the things you're obviously dealing with is the Confederate statues on the Capitol grounds. You know, there are hundreds of these, primarily across the South, and it's an issue, and we want to explore that a little bit and how different communities and states are struggling with it.
Well, we love that you chose the Triangle, your last stop, saving the best for last.
Saving the warmest for last, too. I understand it's going to be a warm one here.
Yes, we've got the 90s for you.
No, but it is really great. There's been some great conversations. And I just like to get out and, you know, we've had people in other locations come by and watch the newscast in Pittsburgh. You know, there were about, 50, 60 people out. And, you know, it's nice to just shake some hands and take some pictures and just kind of get in touch with, you know, I'm in a studio with only a few people every night. And it's nice to kind of see the live reaction. Reminds me of my Today Show days.
Yeah. Well, you're a reporter's reporter. You want to get out in the community and tell those stories.
And I am a reporter. And I always tell, you know, when I talk to young people who want to get in the business and they all want to be the anchor. And I said, look, being the anchor is great. It's prestigious, you know, people know who you are. But the rewarding moments in my job have not been sitting here. They've been out in the field, you know, where news is happening. That's where it happens. So as a reporter, when I took over the show, I said, look, I want to get out a lot. And the truth is, when a lot of times we get to your city, it's because something horrible has happened. You know, there's been some kind of breaking story, and a lot of times people will stop me and they'll say, you know, it's not always that way here, and we want you to come back when times are better. And with that spirit, we went out on this trip to go to communities where nothing horrible is happening, but there's some interesting stories that we wanted to tell.
A lot of positive stories you do. We appreciate that, Lester.
Yeah, and positive is something we have. It's really struck home with a lot of our viewers. You know, our Inspiring America series and Those Who Serve. People stop me on the street and say, "Thank you for some uplifting stories." And it's important. You know, some days you guys know what it's like. At the end of a newscast, you're like, "Whew, that was a tough day." And I think it's incumbent upon us to remind people that we're good people, that we take care of each other, and we do awesome things sometimes.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by this morning.
Thank you. It's been a delight. I enjoy watching you guys when I'm around and to see you in person. It's fun.
And you'll be anchoring tonight from the Triangle. We look forward to seeing that.
All right.
All right, Lester,
Enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
Portland, Denver, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and now the Triangle. NBC's Lester Holt has traveled across America this week, telling stories about those communities. The journey ends tonight here in the Triangle.
And Lester Holt is joining us out live to give us a preview of tonight's newscast. And Lester, thanks so much for being with us. We know you're getting ready for the broadcast, and it's been fun spending much of the day with you today. How has your day been in the Triangle?
Day has been great. I have not been on this campus. Actually, I should take it back 2 years ago. I think David and I were very close by, but had a chance to explore this a little more today. What a marvelous centerpiece here in Durham, and people have been very nice and welcoming. And I think we've got some folks who are already gathering here who are going to join us and watch nightly news tonight, which will be fun for us. We're normally in that studio with only a handful of people.
Lester, I know that you had some expectations about this trip across the country, but what's been the most unexpected thing for you? What surprised you the most?
I think getting a chance to talk to younger people, you know, we profiled some great kids in Portland who were cooking for homeless kids. And beyond that, they were making this connection and understanding how just circumstances separated from them from those they were serving. That was terrific. I met some more kids in Pittsburgh and Chicago, and just the maturity and how the sense of we need to be listening to them because, you know, we talk over each other sometimes when they're saying things we should be listening to.
Now, Lester, a lot of people are asking me, how did he pick the triangle? So how did you pick these locations?
I don't know. We obviously we wanted to have some regional diversity. You know, Portland in the west, Denver as we moved across the mountains, Chicago is kind of the center of the Midwest. Pittsburgh is doing some incredible things in terms of its growth and transformation. And you know, Raleigh, Durham, the Triangle, the area just seems so vibrant. I'd come down here, as I said, a couple of years ago, spent some time with you guys. It seemed like a great symbol of talk about the New South and a jumping off point to talk about issues that may resound in other parts of the country as well.
Okay, Lester, you've been on the road all week. I know you've averaged about 3 hours of sleep a night. You're ready to get home. And I think probably one of the first things you want to do is see your grandson, right?
I do. I have plans tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, to see that little guy. He's growing really quickly. I got to tell you, though, it's so lovely having a baby in the family. Yeah, I love babies. And I said I'll babysit. And we've done a couple of date nights where they come into the city and we watch them, and it's pretty awesome. But you know, as you know, those things put life in perspective of what's important.
Yeah.
So I'll take granddad, nightly news anchor, bass player.
There you go.
In that order. Lester Holt, thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed you today. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for welcoming me so well.
Come back anytime, Lester.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can catch Lester's reports from the Triangle right there at the American Tobacco campus in Durham tonight at 6:30, right after our WRAL News at 6.
I want to tell you, somebody asked me about Lester today, and I said, what you see is what you
No
get.
doubt.
His authenticity as a human being and as a journalist, and one of the best. In fact, somebody said to me today, Lester is the gold standard of authenticity in this business.
And people who came here with him say he's like that all the time. He never changes. He's just very authentic and sincere. And
that's a quality to be admired.
Yeah.
It really is, because it does not transcend the entire broadcast industry. You know,
it doesn't.
as it doesn't transcend any industry.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Right.
But that's very, very cool.